Hi everyone, it's Luca here from the forum, and I've got a few Hearts of Iron 3 expansion pack ideas that are best seen rather than described. So I've made a little mock-up video and I'm just going to talk a bit about them and see if I can actually communicate my ideas to you guys and the devs and everyone. This video is only about display options, and it'll become more clear what I mean about that in a minute. But I came up with most of these ideas after reading people's AARs and noticing that a lot of people tend to draw diagrams on their own pictures. So the bottom line is, if they're trying to communicate something to their audience, they need additional tools to do so. And also I find it pretty confusing. You can see in this screenshot I've got right here, this is only a small one but kind of demonstrates the point, that you can't see the structure or the hierarchy, and there's no real distinction between the unit types. I mean, you've got the unit cards, but the hierarchical structure isn't very clear at all. Especially when you get unit stacks, like you see this Russian one here. There could be a HQ unit in there, you'd never know. So yeah, I've got a few examples here. This is a demonstration of the problem, albeit a small demonstration. You can imagine looking at the whole Eastern Front and there just being hundreds upon hundreds of units, and they all sort of blend into one big grey mush, or red mush, depending on your side. There's one where I first started to come up with the ideas. This is the Barbar Red Sheep AAR. And again, the guy, Loki, I think it is. Yeah, Loki 100. He divides it. He's basically just showing you the army organisation structure that he's devised here, and he's written down some of the strengths that he's got of some of these units, and drawn the dividing lines between them. Now I thought this is an extremely handy thing to have. I'll show you more what my solution to this is later. Just got a few more examples of people. Another one, people showing the strength of each formation. Again, I've had to do all of these in manual. Another one showing strategic bombing locations. And I think that's a strategic bombing location, and sort of strength of air wings, air formations as well. Now with that out of the way, I can switch over to... So yeah, here's a video that I've made. I actually made this... I'm sorry about the resolution, it's not exactly crisp, but I made this from a picture I got from the Barbar Red Sheep AAR, and the resolution is the best I could do, because I don't have access to Hearts of Iron at the moment. As you can see, I'm on a Macintosh here. Anyway, what we can see first of all is that ignore this the banner at the top, because I had to enlarge the background. So just pretend this is the normal screen size. What you used to be seeing over here on the right hand side is the outliner, which shows the unit structure and strength as well, I think. But that was a kind of it had similar functionality, not the same, but it had similar functionality to the unit detail cards that you see on the left. So I think probably they should be combined and free up some screen real estate on the right for some other stuff, which I'll probably deal with. I've got some ideas with that, but I'll probably deal with that in a different video. The stuff that's going to go, or that should go on the right, or can go on the right, I should say. So anyway, the mock-up I've got here, you can already notice a few differences, major differences. The unit detail card / outliner, I'll just call it the outliner from now on, is all on the left, and it shows the unit detail, but it also shows clearly the hierarchy as well. So you could click on any of these, and it also shows the strength. There's a little thing there, it says Viz, which is the visibility, and that's to do with the unit visibility. So if you don't want a unit to show, you just click on its visibility and it goes away. The little green dots that you see above here, right next to the headers, are pins, I guess you could call them. Basically, if you took this away, if you unclick this, then this column would stop showing and the column would fall back in. You can see we've got here a tab. If you click on that, then this will expand and show more detail here. So this thing can open and close, which you'll see in a second. Actually, yeah, I'll deal with that in a second. Up here we've got the standard name filters from the original outliner. You've got a name filter, so you can just start typing and then it'll reduce the list down here so you can find things easily. The reorganization bin is just a little idea. Some of the stuff's throwaways, just ideas that I had off the top of my head, but if you want to quickly reorganize several units, the idea is you'd click and drag these into this bin and then a list would form, and then you can like scroll down this list and then click and drag them onto a different into a different formation. And also this list here, you'll see later, units can be clicked, dragged and dropped Windows Explorer style onto each other. Now the units, we're used to, I mean, you can see on here on the Russian side, Loku is actually playing as the Russians in that AAR, so there's a lot of detail there, but my mock-ups from the side of the Germans. But it's good because it gives a nice contrast here. You can see on the Russian side there is no distinction between HQ units of different levels and divisions, or smaller. And you can see here it's very difficult to tell the structure of what's going on over here. It's a little bit of a red mush. Whereas on this side I've changed the unit cards, the unit counters, sorry, to be different sizes depending on their level. You see here's an army group, army, and the corps here, and eventually the unit HQs get smaller and smaller until you get to actual divisions, actual fighting units, which are the normal size. And basically you can see here that even without any connectors drawn, any highlights of units, you can see the overall structure. You can see that these two armies are probably connected to this army group, and then these corps are probably connected to this army, and so on and so forth. But there'll be more display options which should become apparent in just a few seconds. I'm just going to play through a few seconds of the video. The mouse cursor's here. There's a few second pause, and this is just opening up the ledger. I'll pause it right there. Now, this ledger is for all, this spreadsheet type thing, this ledger is for all the display options of all the units, and I'll have to show you the original program where I got the idea of this, but I'll give you a quick brief description first. You've got the visibility column, the strength column, and these two are pinned. They've got little green icons there that have been checked, so these always remain visible, which is why we just go back. That's why they were still visible when the tabs were closed. Once you click on the tabs, it reveals all of them. Now, you probably can't read this, so I'll just read them out. Various columns here. There can be more columns than this quite easily. You've got connectors, force, which is a force summary, objectives, front, as in the front line, subordinate, as in display the subordinates of that unit in the hierarchy, and separation lines. I'll give a few examples of these in a moment, but I'm just going to quickly show you where I got the idea from this, the idea for this spreadsheet type thing. It's a 3D application I use called Lightwave, and it's got a spreadsheet editor. And the point of this spreadsheet editor is to quickly and efficiently make changes en masse Now you just have to pretend that these columns are relevant, and I've sort of simulated some of the a unit structure here, an army structure. And the idea is that you can just, pretty much as you'd expect with any spreadsheet editor, you can, if I can do it properly, select units, multiple units. You can shift select units, and then you can make changes en masse to all of those units at the same time. That'd be better if I do the checkbox. So imagine you've got a display option like show the force summary, which you'll see in a minute, and you want to do it for all of your army. Imagine this list is very, very long. You go all the way down to the bottom, click, click, done. So yeah, anyway, that's where I got the idea from this, for this.